Hi, my name is Nicole, and this is the CK Diary Podcast. Hey guys, I hope you have had a great week. This week has been so fun. Me and my boys, we've done a lot throughout the day. I took them to Chick-fil-A one day. There's a little indoor playground near us that we went to with a few friends. We've been going and seeing friends. I feel like this week we've kind of gotten back on track, which is kind of weird, like back on track with our normal routine, which is a little strange because a lot of their friends have started school this week. I'm going to be homeschooling my oldest son. He will be starting preschool this year, or VPK. Some people in our area have started calling it VPK. I always thought that VPK and preschool were interchangeable terms, but it seems like in our area now, growing up, preschool was always what you did before kindergarten. But where we live now, which is only 45 minutes away from where I grew up, everyone here calls preschool like it's preschool VPK then kindergarten. So preschool is like 3 years old, VPK is 4 years old, and then kindergarten is 5 years old. Either way, we will be starting preschool or VPK, whatever you want to call it, next week because we have some big plans for the boys' schoolroom, and all of the things that we had that we were supposed to get last week are stuck in California or Georgia. So we're just going to wait until we get all of the things in that we wanted to get in before we do that. And I'll probably show what their schoolroom looks like over on my Instagram if you care to see it whenever we're finished with it. But anyway, let's dive in. I'll talk about more life stuff at the end of the podcast. This morning, I do have a tea with me. Let me see, it's the same on both sides. It's my Be Joyful mug. Can you see that? Yeah. It is from, I think I got it from Hobby Lobby. All right, and this is what I'm drinking. It smells so good. I love vanilla teas. I mean, you know that from what I've talked about previously. All right. I only have one thing to show you today, but it's a thing I am really excited about. So today is Tuesday. I record these on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, and then I post them on Thursday morning. I started this project early afternoon on Friday, this past Friday, and I ended up not switching my needles when I was supposed to, and I didn't want to have to go back a few rows, so I literally just took the whole thing out and started over. So I started what you are going to see. I started this late Friday evening, and I have been obsessed. It is the only thing I've been working on since Friday. I worked on a few things since the last podcast, but I didn't really make a whole lot of progress on any of it. But since Friday, this is what I've been working on, and I am so excited about it. I am making a sweater for my youngest son right now, and I'm going to be making my oldest son the same exact sweater in a different color. So I've been talking to you guys about my plans to make this. This is the flax sweater by Tin Can Knits. And I have finished the neck ribbing, the body, the bottom ribbing, and I'm almost done with the left sleeve. All I have left is to do the bottom the wrist ribbing, the bottom ribbing of the sleeve. And then I will be done with this sleeve, and then I will move on to this sleeve, and then I will be done with this sweater. This has flown off the needles. It is a worsted weight yarn, so it's a little bit quicker. Anyway, and I have just absolutely loved this pattern. And this is the first sweater I've ever made, so I'm sure that I would love a lot of sweater patterns, but I told my husband that I feel like right now making this sweater, I just want to make this for the rest of my life, and I just want to keep making these. But I will move on to another sweater eventually. But for now, I'm really, really excited about how this is working up. There is, where I picked up the stitches on the sleeves, you're supposed to pick up, this is a free pattern on Tin Can Knits. I downloaded their app because on their app, you are able to pick everything that you want for your sweater, what size you want, the arm length, all of those things. And it gives you So like each sweater has a different number of decreases that you have to do, or on one part of the sweater, I can't remember where it was, but you were supposed to add in a certain number of stitches and it just said space them evenly. Well, on the app, you can pick what size sweater that you're doing and it will tell you, like, you don't have to do any math. It will tell you how many stitches to do before you add in a new stitch. But I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I love the Tin Can Knits app. But I was talking about the sleeve. So you're supposed to pick up 6 stitches, and I did, and it left this little hole on both sides. Now, I read somewhere that somebody else picked up 8 stitches instead, but I knew with how short I needed to make the sleeves that I would, you would still, however many stitches you pick up underneath the arm, you have to decrease those whenever you get closer to the wrist. And I knew that with the amount of decreases that I did, I would have to change how much I knit before I started the decreases. If any of this makes sense, I hope this makes sense. And I didn't know, I've never knit this before. I didn't know how long each section of decreases would be. And so I decided just to pick up the 6, and I would figure out how to close up this hole whenever I am weaving in my ends. And I'm glad that I did that, because after I finished, it said for this size sweater, I was supposed to knit 5.5 inches from where I picked up the stitches. And I knit the 5.5 inches, and then I had to do the decrease rounds. It's a 7 round repeat, and you have to do 3 of them. And whenever I finished that 7 round repeat, the 3 times that I was supposed to do it, you decrease 2 stitches every repeat. And by the end of those 3 repeats, you're decreasing 6 stitches, which are the 6 stitches that you picked up in the underarm. And once I finished that, my sleeve was the length that it was supposed to be before I started the ribbing. So I'm glad that I ended up not picking up those extra stitches, because I think I would have had to take back the whole arm or most of the arm and try again. But now I know that for next time. I kind of have an idea of what I can do for my older son's sweater now that I have this one figured out. I really like all of the options that this sweater has. So for my sweater vest that I showed you guys last week, I did do short row shaping on that. And this sweater also had an option for short row shaping. And when I was clicking through, there were 2 options, short row shaping and no short row shaping. And I was planning on doing the short row shaping, but when I clicked onto the option for no short row shaping, just to see what it said, I was just curious. It said that they actually recommend not doing the short rows for the sweaters for 6-year-olds and under, so that your sweater is reversible, so that if they get a stain, or if the front gets dirty while you're out and about, you can just switch it around and it will be the same exact sweater on both sides. And if you knew my youngest son, you would know how helpful that is. But anyway, I plan on finishing off this sleeve and picking up the stitches for this sleeve, and this sweater, God willing, will definitely be done before next week's podcast, and I will hopefully have my oldest son's cast on as well. I am confident that I will have these done before we go to North Carolina in October. I did not expect for this to fly off the needles so quickly. So I'm really, really excited about it. All right, and that's the only project I had to share with you this week. It is the only thing that I worked on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today. It is the only thing that I've touched. This sweater and the next sweater that I make for my oldest son, those will probably be the only patterns or the only projects that I work on until I am done with them. All right, let's see. I had a couple more things I wanted to share with you guys today. So I have made a couple of bags. I talked last week about how I had something that was kind of a surprise, so I wanted to hold on to it a little bit longer. But Christy from Stitchin with Yarn shared about it today, so I'm going to share about it here. We are doing a collab for Autumn. She is dyeing a skein of yarn and I am making a bag. I will have 2 sizes for the bags. There will be a mini and a midi bag. And we will be releasing those early next month. So if you keep an eye on our Instagrams, I am sure you will see it. I am so excited about doing this with her. She is so sweet and I've had a lot of fun. We've been looking at fabrics and picking out colors and it has been so much fun. Let's see, what else do I have to share with you guys this week? I think that is it. I'm sorry this was a small making week. I know that I didn't have much to share, but this is probably the most excited I've been about a knitting project. I love this sweater. I'm so excited about having something special that I made for my kids to be able to give to them, and then hopefully something that they might be able to hand down to their children. And this is going to be the first of many things that I make for them. And hopefully I will be able to get, I told my husband after I finished this, or after I started this sweater, I was like, this is going so quickly. I feel like I could probably make my husband a sweater before we go out there too. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. If you guys have any suggestions, I would love to see them down in the comments below. For a men's sweater, if I make a sweater for myself, I already have my sweater vest and my poncho, and so I'm happy with what I have hand knit for myself to wear while we're in North Carolina. If I have ample time and I can make myself a sweater, I probably will. And if I do, I will probably make the same sweater for myself that I made for the boys. And I think that's it. The only acquisitions that I have are the new needles that I purchased for the sweater. I'm gonna pull this bag out one more time. I keep putting it away. I got ChowGoo 16-inch circulars, a size 6, a US 6, and a US 8, which is 4mm and 5mm needles. Oh, these are the 4mm, I believe. Yeah. I don't know if you guys can see those on the camera. And then I don't know where my 5mm are. I thought they were in here, but I don't see them. And then I also got DPNs. I can't believe I didn't talk about this. So this is my first time ever using DPNs. I didn't really look up how to use them. After using circulars, it was kind of self-explanatory. I've seen pictures before and kind of knew how to set them up. So I set it up, you know, with the traditional 4 DPNs that I typically see in pictures. But I found that having 4, I have so few stitches on these needles, having all 4 DPNs, it kind of made me feel clumsy and a little overwhelmed. So I ended up taking it down to 3 DPNs, which I haven't seen in like photos and videos that I've watched. And I posted on my Instagram and I was like, I don't know if this is right, but it feels better to me. And I had a lot of people respond and say that them and so many people that they know also only use 3 for a lot of projects because it's just less overwhelming and less clumsy. And I guess that kind of goes to show, I saw this post today, I think KnitPicks was the one that posted it, and said there's no one way to knit. And if you are knitting and it feels good and it looks good and it's the way that you like it, then you are doing it right. And I kind of feel like that is the way that it is. I'm sorry if this angle is a little bit different than the rest of the video. I forgot to mention while I was filming earlier that I am wearing a shirt from my friend Laurel. She is over at Aster Ivory Creations on Instagram. That is also the name of her Etsy shop. She made me this cute crew neck shirt with my logo on it. It says Cozy Corner CK, and I will link her shop and her Instagram down below. Go check her out. Thank you so much for sitting here and chatting with me today. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye.